And like to even get to that level, like that is the baseline level. Like what I'm doing and putting into the world matters at all, or can matter, and it's like I might as well do something good instead of something not good. Just to get to that bar is where most people are not yet at.
Yeah.
Which is like, it makes sense that the world is in the state and people do suffer.
Yeah, and all those people, millions of people who are not at the level of like the stuff I'm doing can mean, like, it can be like a fireside story that actually is passed down with like generations and have like that sort of meaning of like this is important and I want like my kids to know about this or something. They're not there and they're making stuff still, and so you have all this stuff in the world that's just being made without much of that consideration.
Which, like, the way we're talking about it, it can sound like they were saying it's wrong or people should not do this or something, but it's more like it's more fascinating and not fascinating because it makes perfect sense.
Well, it's just what has happened.
Yeah, it's just what has happened. And the only thing that we can advocate really is that if you are a reader, a writer, a person out there, develop enough awareness that you get to a level where you don't fall into that and perpetuate it. Because like until you are at that level, until a person is at a level where they have the slightest glimmer of what they're doing and have developed enough care for like being alive and what that actually means, whatever it means to them, then how to describe it? It's like you're not even living. Like you'd still be in the kind of mindless zombie
unconscious
it's just
behavior,
not experiencing life deliberately at all. And that, like, sure, most of the world is down there and there's those few people who are functional, who are like kind of lifting the world up, and randomly people pop up into that paradigm where they can live and not suffer randomly to things all the time. Like there's that framework and that kind of paradigm and system is going on all the time. So whoever you are out there, if you're reading or seeing anything, any of us who are operating in a level where we are genuinely happy rather than just reactive and whatever else, that you can get to that point too, because life is so much better when you're happy than when you're sad and angry and frustrated and whatever else. Like it's so simple, and you can see it, that this whole paradigm just in the world of storytelling, just by observing the way media is perpetuated, what it perpetuates, how it comes out, and the portions of like the proportionally how much is done with care versus how much is done as throwaway.
Yeah,
you can just see it.
And it makes perfect sense because it's an art form. There are various art forms that are just reflections of each person or community or group.
Yeah. Group from like tiny to full scale, like the full spectrum of it.
Involved in making art, which then reflects the person more than most things.
It's very revealing and expressive. Yeah. But that's one of the cool things with storytelling too, is like, I'm writing so many novels all at once, big ones, and I don't know what they are yet, because I've never seen a story that is at that level and remains at that level. Like even one of the things that we talked about is how with the Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind manga, there is like really dark things, like as dark as any story gets, while never dropping from this level, because the whole story is framed from Nausicaa's perspective.
Basically, we have an example like, if you have hell and you have Buddha,
put Buddha in hell,
but the story's from Buddha's perspective, then it's still going to be a loving, beautiful story because it's from his perspective. But if you had it from the devil's perspective or something, then it's going to be a bad, negative story because it's from the negative perspective.
Yeah. So like Buddha would see everything, and the way he sees everything, the story framed from there, recaptures the entire atmosphere and all situations and circumstances with a new meaning of clarity and awareness and balance and harmony that brings it up and like keeps it at this level that is beyond anything else in the story. It's like, you know, one person can hold up the entire world. Like if you have a few functional people can hold up an entire community to make one decent movie. All you need is a few people with decent vision, and it can hold up a whole team of like 1 million people that are just going through motions to make something great. And that's why randomly something pops out, whether it's Avatar: The Last Airbender, Ghibli stuff, anything else. Like randomly goodness happens because there are a few people who have that vision, who are operating on a level that isn't just in the pile of stuff trying to pop their heads out of the mud and breathe a bit. Yeah, all you need is a few. But those few are probably having a lot more fun and being more creative and experiencing a lot more life and everything than those who are not. So if you can do whatever you can to really pay attention and give care and awareness to just in general, but also to the things that you're perpetuating, if you're doing anything and bringing it out into the world,